If I could have everyone's attention, please. All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for my birthday party. I really appreciate it. All right. Thank you. Where's your birthday? Yep. 1 p.m. All right. In all seriousness, we really appreciate everyone joining us tonight. My name is Alex Gray. I'm Allie's little brother as well as one Matt's groomsman, and I'll be your MC this evening. I want to start by getting a feel for the people in this room. So if you're here tonight from the groom side, give me a cheer. Alright, and if you're here tonight from the bride side, give me a cheer. And if you're here tonight just to watch me MC, give me a cheer. Alright, happy birthday to me. Now, I'd love to see where everyone calls home. If you're from New York, raise your hand, please. I'm sorry, Steph. And if you live here in California, raise your hand. Okay, we got some California people. And I've heard, raise your hand if you're here from Iowa. All right, what the hell are you doing here? All right, and finally, I just want to see how intelligent this room is. So if you went to Penn or Hopkins, can you just give all the regular people a boo? They're too friendly. And if you didn't go to one of those schools, I'm a little surprised we got invitations. Good for us. All right, that was great. We have an excellent night prepared for everyone, so let's enjoy it. I'd love to get started with some speeches. So, this first speaker, she promised that she would either hold back from crying or keep her speech under 5 minutes, but not both. Without further ado, let's bring up the mother of the bride, the woman who gave her kids basically the same name, and who Allie claims brought the wrong baby home from the hospital after I was born. I hope you left the tissues at the table, because you promised you wouldn't need them. Come on up here, Sue Gray.
Hi, everybody. Alex, Allie, and Colleen have an over-under bet on how much I'll cry this weekend, so I have to be really careful. Good evening. We thank you all for coming. I'm going to read my speech. The majority of the people in this room traveled 3,000 miles, except for Shivani, who traveled more than twice that distance with no direct flights. And we're so grateful for all of you. Alex, Allie, and I really definitely feel the love in this room. Allie and I often talk about the overuse of the word literally, but tonight, literally all our favorite people are in this room. How lucky are we? Thank you. I agree, Sheree. I want to start by saying happy 25th birthday to my son, today is his real birthday, Alex, a.k.a. Alex G. for groomsman, and also to Matt's brother, Alex, a.k.a. Alex B. for best man, who turned 25 yesterday. I hope the Alexes appreciate how many people flew in to celebrate their 25th birthdays with them. I could speak for my Alex, but I'm guessing the other Alex would have preferred a laser tag party or maybe an outing to the new Toy Story movie circa June 2010. But I thank them for their selflessness to not complain that their birthday weekend is all about their siblings. I also want to give a shout out to all the fathers in this room. I appreciate that you may be sacrificing time on Sunday with your own children, and of course we wish you a happy Father's Day. For all of Allie's amazing college friends, whom she and I both love and adore, and my amazing college friends, whom Allie, Alex, and I love and adore, and our family friends, and the Brotmans' loved ones, both family and friends. I again thank you for coming. I recognize that it's not easy to fly across the country for a couple of days, but you mean everything to us. These invitations were given with great thought and love to the people that we wanted here today. Allie's people are the people that brought joy to my parents' shivas. We're at Allie's bat mitzvah, we're at Alex's bar mitzvah, and equally as monumental, our dog lover friends were at Shaggy's quinceanera and his sweet 16. Thank you for loving my daughter and for the friendship and support you've always shown Allie, Alex, and me. Cheers today and always to all of you and to Matt's family and friends for being a part of our lives and helping us kick off this special weekend. Thank you. On September 9, 2022, Allie met Matt at a pre-late Shabbat picnic in the park. It was her second late Shabbat, and she was there to meet more women, to expand her female circle in California. Yet a new work friend had told her that afternoon at lunch that one of her friends was also attending late Shabbat and she should look for him. Allie and Matt spoke for 2 hours at the pre-service pizza party in the park, and as Allie described it, they talked as if no one else existed. And then they sat next to each other at the service, and Allie told me many months later that she looked at him out of the corner of her eye while sitting in temple and thought, this could be my next serious boyfriend. Matt asked Allie to hang out after the service, but it was late and she was leaving early the next morning for a work trip to Chicago and a quick visit with Brielle and Dylan and Aunt Beth and Uncle Carrie. So she hadn't packed yet and she had to decline. But after that night at Temple, she told me about him. Amongst her comments were that he was the cutest boy at late Shabbat. And the night she returned out, Matt invited Allie and a few others to dinner at his apartment. Late that night she texted me, and I quote, "I definitely have a bit of a crush on Matt. He's great, super nice, smart, great conversation, so sweet, definitely seems like a gem." Allie and Alex were great kids, and they grew into wonderful adults. I'm very, very lucky. However, they were not perfect. And although they begrudgingly went to temple on the high holidays and assorted other holidays, they had to go to at least 10 additional services for Hebrew school. They had Shabbat services at their beloved sleepaway camps, which Alex argued should count towards his 10th service requirement. And they attended Hebrew school twice a week for years. It was not without complaint. Yet they both knew that tennis lessons were optional, temple was not. So the way I see it, this weekend is proof that God exists and good things happen when you go to temple. Despite my kids explaining to me on more than one occasion, I don't understand young people's jargon, seeing, dating, the official boyfriend-girlfriend terminology, although my cousin Stephanie recently taught me about soft and hard launches in terms of relationships. So now I do understand that. I do know that from day one of the thought of being with Matt, Allie did not want to date anyone else. And in my mind, to use my dad's word, it was serious from minute one of dating him. Everyone who knows Allie knows how attached and dedicated she was to my parents, her Grammy and Papa. My dad gave us a great gift after my mom passed by leaving his beloved Florida and living in New York the last 8 years of his life. I spent a great deal of time with my father, Allie's Papa Saul, and not having an exciting life of my own, we used to talk about Alex, Allie, and Matt. And my dad liked Matt sight unseen and repeatedly said, he's our type of people. One of my few regrets with my dad is that he did not get to meet Matt, but I'm confident that both he and my mom are here in spirit and are very happy with Allie's choice in life. Thank you again for sharing this very special weekend. Cheers for a lifetime of good health and happiness for my Allie and her soon-to-be husband, Matt. And happy 25th birthday and many, many more to the Alex.
All right, 6 minutes, and I'm pretty sure she cried, but I loved every moment of it. I hope everyone else did too. All right. If it weren't for our next speaker, none of us would be here tonight. Allie may think that she's the president of the Matthew Brotman fan club, but we can actually thank Sabrina for founding the club to begin with. Please give it up for the mother of the groom, Sabrina Jones.
Hi everyone. For those I haven't met yet, I'm Matthew's mom, and yes, we call him Matthew, not Matt. I know many of you call him Matt, but he's always been known as Matthew. Can you hear me? Okay. So yes, I first wanted to wish everyone here, thank you for coming. We really appreciate it, and also I wanted to wish a very happy 25th birthday to both Alexes. As you know, both of them are one day apart, and they kind of look alike. So, anyway, happy birthday, quarter century. So thank you so much for taking the time to be here this weekend. Every single person in this room is truly important to us, and obviously to Matthew and to Allie. It's very moving to look around and see so many of the people that are really most important to us all in one place. It really doesn't happen that often, and we're so thrilled that you made the effort to come here. So many of you know that my son is very mathematical, and so naturally he approached this wedding planning the way that any normal person would, by building a probability model for attendance. So yes, he actually calculated the likelihood of each guest showing up, factoring distance, travel complexity, and cost. And I have to say, his model really couldn't fully predict the deep love and friendship so many of you have for us. We are so moved that you came here, despite the time, the travel burden, and so many more people than the model predicted are here to celebrate the wedding. And we're really thrilled that all of you are here. According to Matthew's data, 70% of you who traveled came from New York, so huge shout out to our friends and family from Scarsdale and Long Island, as well as we're so grateful for our family and friends that have come here from Iowa, from Chicago, from Colorado, Florida, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and distant countries like Jordan. So you're really making this very, very special for all of us. So let me, with the 1 minute I was allocated, give you the highlights from a few things from my son. First of all, Matthew has always excelled in just about everything he sets his mind to, everything from academics to train for a triathlon. He's also loved solving problems. When he was little, while most kids pass the time saying, "Oh, Mom, when will we be here next?" Or napping or watching videos, with Matthew, we gave him verbal math problems to solve, and that kept him very entertained. In fact, he really seemed to enjoy it, and he got them all right, solving them in his head. Numbers, patterns, logic, this was his idea of fun. And this love of math actually became a career built on analytical thinking and a lifelong habit of approaching almost every decision with very careful logic and precision, preferably supported by data and maybe a probability model as well. But every once in a while, life gives you a decision that mathematics cannot fully explain. And without question, one of the very best decisions Matthew ever made was going to a late night Shabbat dinner about 4 years ago where he met Allie. And the second best decision was proposing. And from the moment at the very beginning, it was very obvious that Matthew found his perfect match, who fits right into our family. The first time Allie came to our house, she brought her homemade vegan chocolate cake, And of course, the moment she mentioned chocolate to a family of chocoholics, we knew we had someone special right away. A few months later, she came with us to visit Matthew's grandparents, who are here tonight, and instantly became part of everything. She earned the lofty title, Queen of the 1,000-Piece Puzzles. And I'll never forget this. Within a minute of meeting Allie, my cousin Cherie, who's here, who's not very bashful, she leaned over to me and she whispered, "We love her." And we truly do. Allie, you're smart, warm, creative, and so clearly Matthew's perfect partner. And we couldn't be happier to welcome you into our family officially. And Sue, thank you so much for raising such an extraordinary daughter. And so what I'd like to do is if everyone could raise their glass. Matthew and Allie, may your life together be filled with love, laughter, friendship, and just enough unpredictability to make every year better and more exciting than any mathematical model could ever predict. We love you very much. L'chaim.
Well, we're going to take a pasta break, and then we'll bring up a few more people to wish Alex and myself a happy birthday, all right? I'm back. All right, so we're back with a few more speeches. And now let's talk about Matt a little bit more. Before Matt fell for Allie over some Manischewitz wine at late Shabbat, he fell in love with Will over a mutual passion for ultimate frisbee. Now, we're lucky that Will was able to make it tonight because, although many of you may not know this, Will is actually a doting and committed father. Fortunately, he was able to find a sitter for his feathered children, Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, Stevie Chicks, and Dolly Parton. Now, please put your hands together for one of Matt's groomsmen and his best friend from San Francisco, Will DeBruntop.
All right, hey everyone, I'm Will. Sorry, getting this mic thing figured out. And yeah, as Alex mentioned, I've been one of his closest friends since we met the summer of 2019 playing Ultimate Frisbee during our internship with WhatsApp. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is Allie and Matt's third date. Because for some reason I was there. To give some context, I love hot tubs. So when Matt was telling me how he met this amazing girl at Lake Shabbat, I was obviously really excited for him. And also really excited that she had a hot tub at her apartment complex. So for their third date, Matt, Allie, another friend, and I enjoyed a nice evening in their hot tub. And afterwards, as I was heading out, I saw Allie pack up everything in her kitchen that had any amount of peanuts in it. I mean, peanut butter, snacks, even her vegan Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And she gave it all to me to take home. And that's when I knew Matt was in trouble. This was their third date. Most girls, after 3 dates, they're still trying to figure out whether they like the guy or not. But in Allie's case, she was already reorganizing her kitchen to make sure that Matt felt safe there. And as I got to know them better, I realized that Matt and Allie actually have a lot in common. They're both incredibly smart, endlessly curious, and just a little bit obsessive in the best possible way. Matt's version of that is being the ultimate yes man. Whether it's a bike ride, a run, burritos, or some board games, Matt is always down. A few years ago, I planned a DIY Ironman triathlon in Santa Barbara with a buddy from high school. I wasn't quite trained up for the race, so I was thinking about how I could give myself the best chance of finishing. So one thing that can make a bike ride easier is you have someone in front of you to break the wind while you're biking. And so the first person that crossed my mind was my favorite yes man, who conveniently has quite broad shoulders and a very generous B-side. Matt agreed to drive halfway down the California coast and lead the way during the bike leg. He spent 7 hours riding 112 miles with me, generously providing what cyclists call a draft and what I call friendship in aerodynamic form. Allie's version of this same trait is that she doesn't do anything halfway. Whether it's building surgical robots, her love of Harry Potter, wedding planning, or her extreme fear of spiders, she's always all in. A few months ago, Allie texted me asking if I could do her a favor. Of course, I responded. Then she called me and started describing this huge spider that she'd spotted on her way out of the apartment that morning before flying to the East Coast. Matt had already left town the day before, and the worst part, she said, is that she was pretty sure the spider was pregnant, and then when she got home, her apartment was going to be filled with baby spiders. So I grabbed my key to their apartment, walked over, found the spider exactly where she had left it, still nestled in the curtain. I vacuumed it up, relocated outdoors, and assured Allie it was taken care of. She's called me a hero ever since. I think it captures something I love about both Matt and Allie. They're incredibly intelligent, endlessly interesting, and completely themselves. Life is simply more fun around them. Matt and Allie bring so much joy and excitement to my life, and I'm so grateful for them. I'm so happy that you two found each other. I honestly believe you're a perfect match. Intelligent, joyful, and quirky in all the same wonderful ways. Matt and Allie, congratulations. We can't wait to celebrate with you tomorrow, and we're so excited for the life you'll lead together. Cheers.
All right, thank you, Will. Now, of course, we have to get back to Allie. I'm sure you're going to hear more about this, but Claire and Allie became friends at college because they both had red hair. They met freshman year and their friendship has survived multiple apartments, 2 posts, and most impressive, a severe walking pace disparity. And if you've seen Allie's snail pace, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, she's allergic to cold. Let's make sure to give her a warm welcome. Speed walk on up here, Claire Grundon.
Hi, I'm Claire, and I had the pleasure of meeting Allie in our very first class of our very first day of college, freshman year. It was calculus. Allie, as no one will be surprised to hear, got to the lecture hall, I don't know, half an hour early. Luckily for me, when I walked in 20, 30 minutes later, there was a friendly looking girl sitting in a mostly empty lecture hall for me to sit with. Did I sit down with her because she had red hair? I'll never really know, but it definitely didn't hurt. I figured out pretty quickly that I'd made an incredibly lucky choice that day. Allie is exactly who you want in your corner, navigating everything that life throws at you. She's incredibly smart and driven, she's an aggressively loyal friend, and she's someone I learned I could have fun doing just about anything with. As I'm sure many of you know, Allie is great at making friends. She's incredibly warm and people are drawn to her. When we walked through campus down Locust Walk, Allie said hi to every third person, and they were always excited to see her. When I asked how she knew all of these various people, there was a long list of answers. Classes, Greek life, office hours. Allie loved office hours. The machine shop, the classes she'd TA'd, even online at Magic Carpet waiting to order lunch. You'd think that someone with so many friends couldn't possibly remember every detail from your life. but Allie is a phenomenal listener and an even better rememberer. She constantly impresses me when she brings up some niche detail about my life or the grudge that she's still holding so that I can let go of it. After college, I was extremely lucky that Allie and I both moved to San Francisco together. With much more free time on our hands post-college, our hangouts no longer needed to be over problem sets. These days, we love to sit on the couch and talk for hours on end. When I go to Allie's house, my girlfriend Lindsay knows not to expect me back until at least 11 p.m. It was through these couch hangouts over the last few years that I got to know Matt. First, through Allie's stories about how they met when she was least expecting it, and he was so nice and cute. Very soon afterwards, she told me she thought he was the one. Now, Matt is sometimes part of these conversations and contributes thoughtful advice, comedic relief, and gluten-free desserts from his dessert stash, which are greatly appreciated. Allie and Matt, I've loved getting to be here to see a relationship grow. You've supported each other through all sorts of ups and downs, and so clearly love spending time together. Unsurprisingly, Matt is also someone that Allie can have fun doing just about anything with. I love you both so much, and I'm so happy to see you take this next step in your lives together. Congratulations.
All right, I want to talk about Maria. Maria is one of the kindest, smartest, funniest, most interesting people you'll ever meet. She is so amazing that she promised me that I could hold the cute little baby that was sitting right here if I complimented her in front of everyone. So let's get loud for Maria Kowalczyk.
Thanks, Alex. Can you hear me okay? Okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry, baby had to go to bed. But I am Maria. I'm one of Allie's college roommates, which you'll see a pattern up here very shortly. And I have the honor of being one of her bridesmaids this weekend. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the idea of a home. Home is a complicated concept. While some consider a home to be a physical location, it's truly more of an emotional state, a sense of belonging, a state of being at peace. As a child, your family is your home. And Sue, Alex, and Shaggy built the most wonderful home for Allie. Then you grow up and go to college, and suddenly, in a strange new city like Philadelphia, your friends become your home. I was lucky enough to share a home with Allie for 2 years of college. We learned a lot from living with someone. I learned how rebellious Allie is when she boils pasta at max heat, so it's constantly spilling over, despite knowing that scientifically it actually doesn't make the water any hotter. I learned how Allie gets really silly and delirious after coming home at 4 a.m. working on her senior design project, sometimes falling on the floor and sleeping there. I learned how brave Allie is when facing the mortal danger of the mouse that lived in our slightly sketchy apartment above a Subway restaurant. And yes, there was only one mouse. Its name was Saoirse. Only one. I also learned that when Allie loves, she loves hard. When Allie chooses you as one of her people, she will be the most loyal, loving, steadfast friend that you will have. I physically shared my home with Allie for 2 years, but the best part about building a home with someone is that feeling never goes away. Whether we are traveling back to Philly, exploring around the world, or visiting each other across the country, Allie will always be home to me. While nothing could live up to the impossibly high standard of roommates set by many of the ladies in this room today, suddenly Matt came along and tried to join the party. Matt, I could tell from the first moment that Allie told me about you that she felt safe with you. Not only were you building a relationship together, you were also building a home. You were building her a place of safety, love, joy, and peace. And that is the most I could ever ask for in a partner for Allie. Allie and Matt, on behalf of everyone here, I want to thank you both for allowing us to share in your joy this weekend. May you continue to grow your home to be stronger, happier, and more loving as the years go on. And may you never forget the feeling of love and support from all of your favorite people in this room today. We love you both so much, and cheers to the happy couple.
I'm ridden with guilt. She did not promise me I could hold the baby, but I did genuinely mean everything I said about Marie. All right. When Allie and Brielle were roommates at Penn, they would hold hands each night before bed. And if he's really lucky, and I mean really, really lucky, maybe Allie will love Matt that much one day. I'm serious, Matt. You really got a lot to live up to there. She used to take attendance for the Sigma Kappa sorority, so she will write you up if you're late tomorrow. All right. From Chicago, Illinois, please make some noise for Brielle Wyckoff.
All right, hi everyone. My name's Brielle. I'm one of Allie's best friends from college. Our friendship started, as all great friendships do, by me asking Allie if she wanted to live with me. A bit of a backstory, Allie and I met when we joined the same sorority freshman year at Penn, and a few weeks later we had to decide who we were going to live with the next year. I had a 4-person apartment all figured out, and then one person suddenly dropped out. So I looked at the list of girls who were signed up to live in our sorority house and decided Allie was the best of the available options to be my replacement roommate. Flattering, right? I asked Allie if she wanted to live with us, set up a girl date with my other 2 roommates to make sure they didn't veto her, and the rest is history. Our friendship grew very quickly after that. We put a sign on our door that said Brialle's room, and officially coined our iconic couple name. We held hands from across our shared room while sleeping in our separate twin beds, which were so close together that we could very easily hold hands every night. And when we decided that that was just too far apart, we even slept in the same twin bed together once, but never again because it was not very comfortable. I loved Allie's larger-than-life shaggy pillow and wall posters. She taught me how to use the 3D printers as my teaching assistant in Mechanical Engineering 101, and she gave me an A, said I was the best student that she ever had. Clearly, there was no bias there. And I introduced her to important new foods like tacos and cream cheese. I mean, seriously, who grows up Jewish on Long Island and never tried cream cheese? One part of our friendship that I will always cherish is our shared sense of humor. There were countless nights where Allie and I would make a joke that we found so funny we could barely breathe, sitting there laughing for 30 minutes, and everyone else in the room, who heard the same joke as we did, just stared at us like we were crazy. Remember Jacob the moldy pumpkin? I was always the fun devil on Allie's shoulder, telling her to stop studying with Claire or Greg or whoever else she was studying with that night, working on her mechanical engineering project. Because it was Friday night and we should go out and have fun. And yes, I would always pour her a glass of champagne, even if all she wanted to do was listen to the bubbles rather than drink it. On a more serious note, Allie is one of the most thoughtful and kind friends I know. She cares more about the people she loves so deeply. Even living halfway across the country for the past 7 years, Allie's always the first to text me congratulations, wish me good luck, or ask for status updates on any important day or life milestone. Many of you probably know Allie's long commute home phone calls quite well, and I cherish those so much. Allie always comes prepared with a long list of questions to make sure she doesn't miss a single story about the past few weeks since we last talked. She is the kindest, most generous heart, and I'm so lucky to call her my best friend, the other half of my Allie. And Matt, you came into Allie's life at the wrong time. When she wasn't looking for a boyfriend, just enjoying finding herself in San Francisco and discovering new hobbies like Orange Theory. But as soon as she first told me about meeting you at Shabbat dinner, I knew her plans to stay single and focus on herself were completely doomed. I quickly accepted that even though I'm Allie's original love of her life, she clearly had room in her heart for a second love of her life. You complement each other so well, push each other to step out of your comfort zones, go on new outdoor adventures, conquer athletic feats. trying new vegan foods, and live life to the fullest together. I'm so glad to have gotten to know you these past few years and bond over our shared love for our 3 primary food groups: chocolate milk, mac and cheese, and dessert. I'm so happy to be here celebrating the 2 of you this weekend and watching you take this next step in your beautiful life together. So here's to Allie and Matt. Congratulations on your wedding weekend. And maybe soon you can get a cute couple name like Matt-Allie. Not quite as good as Brie-Allie, but we can keep working on it. So cheers.
All right, last up is our officiant for tomorrow's ceremony. When I first met Jess, I thought she was the only person that could possibly be friendlier than my sister. I don't know if anyone could be friendlier than my sister, but possibly. Jess is great. With that said, I am her understudy for tomorrow, so if you're a fan of me as MC, then go ahead and sneeze in her drink tonight. From Los Angeles, by way of University of Pennsylvania, it's bridesmaid Jess Perry.
Hi, I'm the minister, but you can call me Jessica. Or minister, I don't really care. Also, sorry, you're gonna hear me talk a lot. I just wanted to talk about myself, because tomorrow it's all about Matt and Allie. I'm so happy to be here this weekend celebrating what started out at love at first sight. I met Allie my sophomore year of college, her freshman year, during sorority rush, and she instantly became what they call my rush crush. I desperately wanted Allie to be in my sorority, and while that didn't happen, and I spent the rest of the semester looking her up just to see what she was up to, we both ended up in the same chemistry class that summer. I couldn't be more grateful that 2 cool girls like us wanted to spend their summer learning chemistry, because that is where my lust for Allie turned into genuine friendship. We were both mechanical engineers, and were 2 of the coolest mean girls around, except for Claire, which wasn't hard to do, because there were like 20 in our combined years. Allie swiftly excelled in her classes, taking the hardest electives, not just in our major, but other majors too, years before others would even consider it. And that is where my friendship with Allie blossomed into admiration. At the end of 2022, Allie met Matt, and her entire world shifted to become more steady, more consistent, more fun, and full of so much love. I met Matt a couple of months later, and we instantly clicked as well. Before Allie and Matt moved in together, Allie's apartment became something of an Airbnb to not just me, but my sister as well. It also became a safe haven for me when I was exposed to COVID. And Allie gladly took me on a road trip to go strawberry picking and cook what has since become my favorite meal. Since Allie and Matt moved in together, their apartment has become my home too. Their spare bedroom is known as my room, and not that Matt would ever rank his roommates, but if he had to, I think I'd be his favorite. When I come visit, the 3 of us barely leave that couch. Well, Matt occasionally does, to bike, run, play pickleball, you know. The rest of the time, we're playing games, dancing to One Direction and Taylor Swift, and confidently diagnosing medical conditions despite having absolutely no medical qualifications. Allie and Matt's home is a perfect summation of the 2 of them. There are handmade Sterling engines and chessboards, Harry Potter books, paintings, bikes on the wall, and coffee table books with pictures of each year they've spent together. They have so many games and cookies ready to bake, ready to host at a moment's notice. I happened to visit one time over Matt's birthday celebration and ended up in a game of Capture the Flag with more friends than I could ever fill a room with. I've also had the opportunity to spend a couple of night before Thanksgivings with Allie and Matt out on Long Island for Sweet Shaggy's birthday, where I got to witness the devotion and care that Matt has for all of Allie's friends and family, human and canine form. Even when Matt has to spend additional time on the Long Island Railroad, which I know can be so hard given how traumatic train tracks are for some of us, he shows up and makes sure that everyone feels comfortable and welcome. I'm so happy for you both, and I can't wait to celebrate your love tomorrow and for all of the years to come. I can't wait to get more sketchy Chinese food with you the next time I come stay in my room. I'll leave it here for tonight, since you'll hear me speak a lot more tomorrow, and thank you for coming to my show. Mazel tov.
Thank you, Minister. And thank you, Will. That really made me laugh. All right, I'll be back one more time, but enjoy dinner, everybody. All right, let's have a good night.